So this is me working on a box to contain the glue in the shop to prevent it from freezing. I'm just cutting away the original holders for the saw that went into this box. I don't own the saw, so I really don't have any need for the brackets and such. It takes a little bit of effort. You know, the grinder. I originally had my sweatshirt on. It's fairly cold in the shop. It's about it was 48 when I went out there, so pulled out the fencing pliers. I was going to use my lineman's pliers, but the fencers were out already for some reason. So what I end up doing here is I tap away at it, and I couldn't get it to come loose from the spot welds, so I cut even further into it. And once I decided to start cutting, well, that way, I essentially cut between the spot welds and then just twisted them off. It was a little bit more work, but in the end, it turned out to be worth it. And I'm trying to mute my coughing, but it may not work. We'll see. Trying out new video and audio software. And of course, it's late at night, so I also have the yawns. If I was playing the sound from the video, you would probably hear me whistling occasionally. The video is sped up about 4 times. It took me about 20 minutes, 20 minutes to make the box entirely. That includes looking for materials and such. Though I did get up and pause the video several times, so I didn't want it to take as long for the video. And this is me just looking at it and trying to decide if I want to cut that little back piece off. And I think, yeah, I think I went and got the vacuum so that I could clear out the excess crap and kind of clear my head as far as thinking what to do with that piece. Eventually, I decided to cut it off, obviously. Didn't really. The original plan was to put a light holder, a bulb holder, behind that bracket, and kind of use it like a heat shield. But then I get to thinking about it, and considering it's in a metal box, it'll be the light will be contained inside of a drop light holder. I didn't really think it's not likely to be a fire hazard, especially considering if it does catch on fire, it'll be in an enclosed box, and it'll either put itself out or only burn that. Um, it's not sitting against anything wooden. It's not even close to anything wooden. It's all when it's done. I actually put it on the concrete floor in a corner of the shop in the tool room, and it just sits there. If it catches on fire, it's just going to burn itself. There's the glues that I'm going to put in there. I also put some epoxy inside of there as well. It just had to be big enough to hold the glues. I'm off cutting something at the moment. Can't remember what the heck I was doing at this point. I'm actually listening to the audio, so it sounds like I'm at the saw. And indeed I am. Yes. It's a little weird narrating this after the fact. I've never done this. This is a brand new thing for me to do, is to narrate my videos. And it's just trying it out, just see how it fits. There's some metal bits on the lid that I didn't really want to cut because I didn't want to ruin the front of the box. I kind of like that it's the Milwaukee heavy duty deep cut bandsaw. I kind of like that being on there, and so I wanted to preserve it. Eventually, I may bolt this to the wall, or actually put some rock wool on the wall and then bolt it on top of the rock wool so that it has some insulation between it and the concrete. I actually had to go push the autofocus button because my phone was not capturing it wasn't adjusting focus. Now here you'll see me putting these staples. These staples are really not long enough, and you'll see several times why I did that. And here is the first time, so that I could just put it in place, and set it down and just hammer it down into it. Um, it's not necessary that they be the right length. Uh, I may change it. I haven't decided how I'm going to address that little shelf in there, and I may lower the shelf too. I may weld a piece of metal in there. I don't have a welder other than my homemade spot welder, though, so uh, that would be a future project. Here I am marking out the vent holes in the top of the unit. um, I doubt they're necessary, but I wanted to put them there because I thought it would look better. It's literally rich aesthetics. Um, the hole that I drill in the side is sized larger. Originally, I was going to put. You see there's a a hair dryer sitting there. Originally, I was going to wedge that into it and have it blow warm air in, but I don't think it's necessary. It just needs to stay above freezing. It doesn't have to, stay. If it gets to be about 20 or 30 degrees in a box, um, 30 degrees higher than the outside air, I would be thrilled. But it's not necessary. It just has to be warm enough to prevent my glues from settling. Um, you can see there's two different colors of glue in the GlueBots, those crazy little bottles down there. One is Type Bond 2, and then the other one is Type Bond 3 with it's just a dye added to it. It was it was an idea I had, and it worked. It just didn't work like I wanted it to. So now I've just been slowly using it because I don't really have a whole lot of use for it, for that weird color. It almost dries exactly the same color as the glue is in liquid form, and that's just sort of weird. And here I am drilling the inside hole where the cord comes out of. I drilled this way first to try to break through the metal and to give myself an alignment hole. Once I got an alignment hole, I just popped it out. It was easy. That set of hole saws is a Milwaukee set, and it's really nice because I can easily change them without having to go get a wrench or anything. I used a file and a deburring tool to get all that metal out, make sure there's no sharp pieces. I went and got some grommets at one point or another and tried to push them in place. Unfortunately, the grommets I have are sized just a little bit too small for the holes that are in the top of that. And yeah, here I am. Yeah, they're sized just a little bit too small. I could actually force them to fit if I cut a slot into the edge of the grommet hole, but I decided that the project was taking too long and just wanted to get it done. I needed to protect my glues, and this will fit the bill. But I didn't really want to spend a whole lot of time on this small of a project. The idea is to eventually build a box for uh, somebody else, and this is just giving myself a little peace of mind. Uh, I want my drop light to be usable, and so that's why the hole is so large. I want to be able to take it out. Now, what's in there right now is an LED light and